Up on your
Uh,
end.
yeah,
Oh, there we go. There he goes. Yeah, I
it's
was
now
waiting for that.
recording.
Cool, man. Awesome.
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 So yeah, I was saying, I live in Mexico, actually, the Northeast, kind of close to the border with Texas, about 2 hours or three
Okay.
hours from the border. So I'm doing everything like remotely and yeah, but investing everything in the US and everything. So I don't want to invest anything in Mexico yet.
Okay.
Just living here, and probably will live here for a next couple of years and then move someplace else. Not sure if the US, maybe like Canada or Europe. I don't know. I will
Oh.
see. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're young, so you have plenty of time to decide on what you're gonna do. You have a family?
I will get married next year. So
Oh,
pretty
nice.
excited about it. Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah. So we got
Congrats.
engaged a couple of months ago.
Wow.
So yeah. And that's why.
You picked out a place. Are you gonna get married in Mexico or somewhere
Yeah,
else? Or
so we will get married in Puebla.
okay.
It's a
Where's that?
beautiful place in Mexico. It's also Mexico.
Okay.
Um, we have to fly there, and all my guests will be flying there. But
Mhm.
just like these like one of the best places with food in Mexico. So it will be like a Mexican, but like a fancy wedding, style.
Cool.
So
It's
yeah, pretty
awesome.
excited about that.
Good for you guys, man.
Yeah, yeah. And what about you? Where are you based? Like Maryland, right? Or that
Yeah, I'm in
side of?
Maryland. Yep, I'm in Maryland, just outside of DC. Like
Yeah,
I'm 20 minutes. It depends on traffic, but like yeah, 20 miles away from the edge of DC, like the
nice.
northwest of it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And you're investing in midterm rentals, right? Or what else are you investing in?
Yeah, I do midterm, short term rentals,
Okay.
and I do the management. Like right now, I started with rental arbitrage. You know what that is?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I started with rental arbitrage last year when I got into it because I needed cash flow. I was doing wholesaling and I was like, I'm not doing successfully in this. I'm like, I wasted a lot of money. I'm like, I need to go back to, I have long-term properties in Maryland. And I was like, I knew that already, like management stuff, just doing it myself. And it's like, it can't be much harder. I need to learn it. So then it's like, I need cash flow. So I feel like I can't just do long-term. It's not making enough. So
Yeah.
found Airbnb arbitrage. I started with that. So I have three properties right now. Well, yeah, technically three properties. One of them, it's called co-hosting. I don't own it. I just basically manage it for this other sub two student.
Okay.
And then one I have a sub two in San Antonio. So
We're in San Antonio. I think we
it's
sold you that
Selma.
one. So I think with Richard
You
Knowles.
saw it? Yes. Yeah, he sold
Yeah,
it to us. Yep.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
one.
Well,
Yep.
I
He's got another
wasn't
one.
like there. I
Hmm.
was like so I built systems, right? So I built some
Hmm.
systems for like Richard and then also for Vincent Lanza
Hmm.
in Subto. So yeah, that's
Nice.
what I know about that property in Selma.
Sweet, dude. So you,
Yeah.
you you work on the back end as an integrator for like wholesaling or companies and stuff for the guys.
Yeah, yeah. So
Awesome.
I've done that since I joined Subto, and then lately I've been working more into learning about the wrap world,
Mhm. Yeah.
So I will probably get started like dispoing wraps or finding like homestead buyers for some deals for other investors,
Okay.
to try to get like a full understanding of the whole process. And
Hmm.
then just begin like getting private money lending for the down payment and get the
Yep.
note myself, keep the note and not
Hmm.
just a finder's fee. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I've been like trying to build and learn. Of course, like everything that I'm doing has a lot of automations and systems and
Good.
like those things
That's
because
what I need to
that's
get, man. I was like, I'm like doing a lot of stuff myself. I'm a visionary. Obviously, we're like opposites right now.
yeah, 100%. So yeah, I mean, I much rather just like code and do those things than just call people. I mean, I
Yeah.
can do that, but I know doesn't give me energy. It actually
Right.
drains me, like after a
Right.
few calls,
Right.
I'm like, I'm done for the day. Whereas with like coding and building systems and processes, I can be like keep going till
you can wake up in the morning and be like, dude, I can't wait to like put something together for this system and do
yeah.
this.
You,
Yeah.
you know,
Same
like
thing
I
for us.
Yep, yep. I get like shiny object syndrome for systems, which is kind of
Yeah,
weird.
that's funny. That's so funny. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, oh, this house over here, this house over here. Oh, no, a new apartment. Oh my god, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally
yeah,
get it, man. That's
yeah,
awesome, dude.
100%. So I mean, that's how my brain works. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to like lean into my strengths, but I mean, still learn on the other areas and
Yeah.
see what I can build, right? Because I still need to get involved in the like other business area because I need to see what are the actual needs, and then I can develop some solutions, right? Not what you're
Gotcha.
asking me, but like, let me see what the problem is, and then I will come up with something, right? Rather
Okay.
than you asking me to build something. So that's something that I do
Yeah, you
pretty,
want like a little bit more firsthand, like I guess experience with it, so you can
yeah,
know what to figure out as well. Because you'll remember, like, okay, this is what happened. This I know how to figure it out, or at least how my brain will figure it out versus a visionary brain like myself.
yeah, because I have like all the tool, I know like all the tools, so I can see like this tool will be a better fit than
Mhm.
whatever, like yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's usually what I do. Lately getting into the rap world, and
Mhm.
then I still have some projects with Vincent and Richard, like trying different things. So we might do some cool things for like getting JV leads and those things. I don't know, trying to think outside the box and try different things and
Mhm.
see where that takes us. But
Yeah, it's
related
awesome.
to midterm rentals, I wanted to ask you, like, can you show me or can you explain to me, like, what do you
Mhm.
see in a property, or how do you underwrite that to see if it's a good deal? I mean, I'm not doing midterm
Yeah,
rentals, but I come across a lot of properties, so I'll love just to
yeah, yeah,
send you a couple of them, you know?
yeah. So I have actually, it's funny because somebody asked me. I've been, and everyone, a lot of people, not just somebody, but like just last night, I uploaded a video. 'Cause, are you doing, basically all these different projects and things going on, right? Is that Project Forward? Have you heard about
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah, I am actually doing that. Yeah, that's why I
Okay,
wanted
good,
to record the call.
good. Okay, I figured, but I just want to make sure. But I probably should record the call too. But maybe I'll get the copy from you later.
Yeah.
But long story short is that I uploaded, like I started YouTube, like you said, and I haven't done StreamYard yet, but I uploaded a video I did with another lady. Maybe you don't even know her, Rocio. I forgot her last name, but she's from San Antonio, we Bronze
Okay.
Fells. But she actually asked me, like, I think last week, how do you underwrite a deal? I'm like, you mind if I record this? Because I like probably every day. I'm like, every day I have to underwrite a deal. I'm like, I get it. I can underwrite anything.
Yeah.
Except maybe a mortgage method. I haven't done a mortgage method, but I understand the underwriting at a high level. And so I was like, let me just record this because I'm gonna do this Project Forward. I'm gonna post it on YouTube. And then a guy, actually one of the first like 5 students from Subto,
Oh,
one of the first people that I think met Pace on his ride along. You know the story. Scott Garcia asked me, he's like, "Hey, I'm trying to get in midterms. How do I underwrite this? Well, what do I need to do?" And I was like, "Oh, perfect timing! Like I'm uploading this video right now." So if you go to my YouTube, I mean, I'll pass it to you when we get off, but
yeah.
you can take a look at it, and it's like an hour. You can speed through it probably, and then you get ideas. Like I use only free systems to teach people. Like for me, just teaching, right? But
Okay.
it's like what I call napkin underwriting, if you know what that is. It's just like a very above the like, the board. Like I'm looking down, okay, just all free stuff. Just gives me an idea. Now it's like to really deep dive into it more, then it just gives me like the first basis. Does it check off like it's a good area, all this other stuff, right?
Got it.
It's kind
Yeah.
of what you're asking me. I use like sites like Rabu, AirDNA, um, Google, Airbnb, so like
Yeah.
Google Maps. So like for example, while we're on here, let me see if I can open my screen up real quick. Got so much stuff open. I wasn't expecting this, man. You got me on the, put me on the ball here. Give me a second.
I mean, you can just like give. I can link the video and I can watch that later to take a deep
Mhm.
dive. But I'm curious because
Yeah,
like I bet a lot of that can be somewhat automated. Like for example,
sure, it could be. Yes.
using using the Google API, you can pull like nearby hospitals, nearby airports, nearby universities, and then
Mhm.
data Rabu, you can like pull nearby Airbnbs, projected
Yeah.
like revenue for Airbnb, for I don't know what else you take into consideration. Like I don't know if you look for like physicians and traveling nurses jobs to see what the pay grade is for that area. I don't know where to
I
find
I
that.
don't I don't deep dive into all
Okay.
that, but like for example, let me show you real quick. Let me see if I can go back and open this up. Um, this was Rabu yesterday. You see my screen now?
Yeah.
Let me make sure. Cool. Awesome. This is one like somebody actually was a sub 2 students deal, and then another sub 2 students like I'm local to Maryland where I am. He's like, what do you think about this deal? And then all the numbers, there's all this stuff. But this is me going using Rabu because it's free. I said on the video, people like, why are you using? Because this one and AirDNA. Do you know
Yeah.
AirDNA, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the
Just trying to
rental
show.
meter or the like
Yeah,
yeah. They have these
AirDNA. I got
two.
to
Yeah.
log in apparently, but anyways, but AirDNA is both sites. This one, both of them are free. AirDNA has a little bit more data, and the numbers are a little more higher because it keeps cleaning fees in there. So it kind
Okay.
of gets a little higher like revenue numbers. Data Rabu is significantly lower. I don't know why there's such a big gap because cleaning fees can't cost that much, but don't know what they're actually pulling. But I know that both sites are pulling data from listings that are on Airbnb and VRBO. Now people are like, well, that's short term. Like there's no really midterm one except for Mash Pfizer. That's something you could probably put together. But Mash Pfizer has a comping tool, basically something similar to this for midterms, right? But it's expensive, and I have not heard anybody say anything good or bad about it. So
Just yeah.
it's probably
Yeah.
not getting used that much. Whatever the case, I just might look. This is use free tools, not spend more money than we have to, right? So you just want to get an idea if the area is good and all that stuff. Just knowing the area, like Rob, this one here, just for your idea. That's the property. And some
Okay.
other ones, like these are the rates, right? But what I look for, that's more important than anything else, is really not it's the occupancy. You want to make sure that it's getting filled. So
Okay.
77, 73, 60 probably is on the border what I want. There's some other ones. This is a little more south. Baltimore's a very, really weird market. I'm not sure how much you know about Baltimore.
No,
From what
I
I've
don't
been
know.
told, it's
Yeah.
like literally street by street. Like you can go from this street, see 90, then 17. It's like 2 blocks away.
That's crazy.
It's so weird. Like even comps, like I was doing a little bit of wholesale again. Like the comps, like you'll have like this house here and the other house on the back side. And like the house from here might be like 200K ARV, and the other one over here can be like 120. I'm like,
Oh,
holy crap, that's a huge difference. Like you could be really off.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's like you
Yeah.
have to know the area very well. So all that being said, like 97%, I want to look at there's enough properties here right now in this cluster around it
Okay.
that's also similar. It's like this is a 3 bedroom, I believe. This occupancy rate that they give you is 46%, which is super low for me, and then just give you an idea. I like Rob just because it's free. You
Yeah.
can see the high and low seasons. And then the other thing is I can go through the pictures, the ones that are good. Like this one's 97%, 5,900 roughly a month. Like you can kind of see like what it looks like. Is it similar to yours? Skip comps. And if you want to go into it, you can go directly to the Airbnb listing too. And you can kind of see their calendars, what they're charging roughly. It's like $200 flat rate every month, every day. Nothing special there. Any more details? 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 4 beds, sleep 6 people. Just to kind of give you an idea, like what yours might be. And then obviously for midterms, if you don't know, pets are very important. Most people
Okay.
travel, more than a month. They just travel their pets.
Yeah.
Now going back to your question about nurses and stuff, the problem is depending on location. This one's actually near Hopkins Hospital, which is like I think 10 minutes away.
Okay.
You have to look at like your clientele and the size of your house and location. And both those things matter. And what I mean by that is people send me deals to look at. I'm like, okay, with midterms, Tanisha says this too. Start with the user in mind. Who's going to be the guest avatar? That's what we call it, right? Who's that person that's going to stay in your place? Because midterm is not short term. Short term is like vacation travelers. You just know who they are. It's families. If it's a big house, it's maybe 1 or 2 people. It's a small little condo and community. But you already kind of know they're staying there for like a short time. They're here on vacation. Okay. With midterm, okay, is it traveling nurses? Is it medical professionals that are traveling? It's near university. Is it a professor? Is it college students that are there, for the semester or for the year? You have military people that are relocating, maybe from like I have one in San Antonio, like you guys know, that's near the military base. I was like, okay, maybe we get some military family coming into town, and we've had it going on since I think May. We launched it. We have not had one military request. We have not even had a. We thought it was going to be midterm. I do it as a hybrid because that means is I do midterm first, and then midterm in there, and then what happens is if I have any breaks, I'll just put in short-term stays. So far, what is that now? May, June, July, August, September. Well, 4 months basically. September just started. We have not had one stay longer than 10 days. Wow. We were expecting midterm stays. We have not got any midterm stays. Now, I know I'm jumping around, but like going back to the different people, you have the nurses and medical professionals. you have military families, you have relocation, which is also sometimes military families, but people just relocating for work. You get the insurance company, which is the best one, they pay the most. So people are like, oh, I got a house, it's gonna make this much. Like, oh yeah, you can make a lot of money, but I tell people insurance companies, you don't know when you're gonna get the claim. So because like the house around the other side of the neighborhood or something like that, that house had a water, damage, maybe a pipe burst. Okay. But
Yeah.
then what if like, Armando has a house, I have one, and Armando has one like three houses down. Let's say yours is one floor. Mine, the bedrooms are, it's 2 floors, the bedrooms are upstairs. Well, what if they that family that had the claim, they had like, an old like mother that just can't go up downstairs. She just had knee surgery.
Yeah.
And she can't go upstairs. She needs a bedroom downstairs. Well, guess what? They're gonna pick yours before they pick mine because she
100%.
can't go
Yeah.
upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the other thing, obviously, is like if it's wheelchair accessible and stuff like that. It's some of these places, obviously you need a workspace, but let's just say, for example, they do need somebody like that. That they need some handicap accessible. I had one request that said, "Is yours wide enough for a wheelchair?" And I was like, I don't think we were set up for that. Like, I don't know. Technically, I'm not down there anymore. So like, I think it could, because there's not too many big steps. There's like a couple small little steps, probably about like, I say 6 inches, 8 inches high. They can probably roll through that. But I was like, I don't know. So I don't want to, there's no ramp, obviously. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of weird. And I'll finish by saying this, like, just because yours is near a hospital, like this house,
Uh-huh.
let's say this property, it's near the hospital, but like let's say, let me go back. Yeah, so it says it's $5,900 revenue, but let me go back out for a second. For example, look, okay, here, this one, 36.29. Let's just say it's 29,
Yeah.
right? This is $2,900. I remember yesterday I was underwriting this deal for this guy, and the rate, the PITI was I think it was like almost $3,100. So obviously you're not going to make that money, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now if you increase the occupancy, maybe like to 60%, that's usually what I like to have it at, 60% or a little higher. Then you could probably get over 30. Let's say he gets 36,
Yeah.
right? At 36, he's still going to lose money because number one, he rents it out, 36. He's got to pay expenses. He's got all the utility costs, electric, water, gas. Maybe you have trash, you have pest control, and if you have a pool, you have pool maintenance. But if you have a lawn, you have lawn care. There's all these extra costs, right? And internet, don't forget, you need to have internet basically now as a utility in my mind because everyone needs to have internet.
Yeah.
So you're probably looking at another $600 roughly, usually between $500 to $800 for a house, right? If you have a condo, most condos will give you, sometimes they'll give you like water's included. They might, give you some other things like parking's free, things like that nature. But we don't know the whole time. That's the question. Like, ultimately it comes down to like, will the project fit? Like here, yes, Hopkins is a major hospital, but like they might not want to be over here. It's too far away. It's too far to drive. It looks close, but it's actually pretty far away. I know the area. So
Yeah.
and plus it might not be a safe neighborhood. So there's all these different
100%.
factors that you can't control, and we don't know what people are thinking. So that makes it tougher. But you should start, because once you get the property, you have to design it and set it up
For
to
that
that
person.
person
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
or that
100%.
guest. And the other thing I said is like the property, about the Selma property. There's a couple of hospitals nearby. It's in a good location, but if we did it to traveling nurses, we did the blackout curtains. The problem becomes like each nurse on Furnish Finders, there's another site you can use. They might only pay like for each bedroom like $800 to $1,000. Well, our break even is like closer to like almost $4,000. So let's say $1,000 per bedroom, 3 bedrooms, that's $3,000. It
Yeah.
pays our bills, but like we're not going to make any profit. So is that worth it? Plus, I tell people you have to have 3 different locks because these nurses, they usually travel either by 1 or 2 people. They don't travel more than 2 people usually. So
Yeah.
then if you book out 2 rooms, that's $2,000. And what about the third room? It's sitting empty.
Yeah.
You try to get somebody else in there. Guess what happens? They don't know each other. They fight, and who knows what's going on. They might not get along. Their schedules are different. One person wakes up early, the other person works late. It's all crazy. And plus, you have 3 different guests and 3 different leases to
To
sign.
manage. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, I don't want that headache. I want one group. And which FYI, just that I forgot this one. Construction workers, construction crews. because the infrastructure bill in America now, they're building bridges, they're building roads, depending on the area. They might be building factories, like Tesla's building a factory or headquarters in Austin.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different players and in essence, clients.
Okay.
So
And do,
you
do
got to
you
figure that out first.
do you like do you have a type of group that you personally prefer? Like
I love
someone you
insurance. I
insurance?
love their insurance, but it's again, like I said, it's very fickle,
Yeah.
meaning that it's not always perfect that you're going to get them, and it's not easy to get them all the time. Like we had one actually going back to the Selma property that you know about. I
Uh-huh.
had one that was we had a claim that came in. It actually was in Selma. Selma's a small city,
Yeah.
and I talked to the rep. It's like this is what they need. It's an old lady. Her husband passed away. They have a 3-bedroom house nearby. A tree fell or something like that on their house, some water damage, basically. It's her and her dog. And I'm like, yeah, but why? It's one person and a dog. Why would they come to my house as a 3-bedroom? She doesn't need this big a space.
Yeah.
Yes, the backyard is good for the pet and huge amenity, huge check mark. But I'm like, she's one person. She doesn't need a big giant house.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, let's take a look at it. I talked to the rep, adjuster, sent it in basically to the insurance company. And then they basically put her, she decided it comes down to the insured person that has the claim. It comes down to what they want. So if she wanted to see the property, maybe she saw some stuff and she's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I'll just be somewhere else. Long story short, she ended up staying in a hotel room.
Okay.
She just stayed in her hotel room. She didn't need, it's a hotel room. Whereas like a family, if you had like a 4 or 5 person family staying in one hotel room,
Yeah.
gets really loud and noisy, and it's like the kids are crazy. So those people there usually the kids get kind of rowdy. The parents like, I just need to get out of this hotel room. Like after like a week or two, they're like, man, I don't have a kitchen. I don't have a full kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we have a pet there,
In
it's like, oh, we
space.
maybe don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the space thing.
In
Like they're like, well,
space.
these
Yeah.
kids need their own room. I want them out of my hair. I don't want to see them every single hour of my life. I'm
Yeah.
trying to make calls. I can't do it at work here because the kids are running around the background, even if they're in school.
Yeah.
But it's just knowing who you are. And I feel like, to me, I personally like a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom home because it gives
Okay.
me a little bit more flexibility in terms of who I want to kind of host. So
100%. And then how do you find, like, let's say someone has a property, how do they like show it to the insurance companies? Like, is there a
yeah.
portal or like, how does that work?
Yeah, go to alesolutions.com. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can come on here and do it here, but yeah, you just hopefully it comes up as when I'm on Zoom, it slows down a little bit. That's the problem I hate.
I know it happens the same with my
It's the
computer.
bandwidth, man. I think
Yeah.
Zoom just eats up a lot of it, but
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
go here. ALE Solutions is probably the number one national leading provider for displaced families. The insurance companies like a State Farm, Farmers, whatever company for the most part, they'll have people probably working for them, but they kind of in essence push it out to like companies like ALE. Hey, go find these clients' homes. This is what
Okay.
the client's needs are, right? This is this is it. Like I talked about, maybe like the one thing with I actually had a claim come in. The rep's like, these are the needs within and around this location. This is the address. This is what they need. They have 2 pets. They need at least parking for 3 cars, 3-bedroom minimum, ideally 4 bedrooms. Here's the family. It's 2 adults, one one kid is 18. They just tell you certain things about like how many people are going to be there, how many
Okay.
pets and stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
usually I contact them once they send me something. This is just one company, but you contact them once you get the request on the email, and they just like, hey, what is it? I always say, what is it exact? What's the needed thing? Because there's some needs and there's some wants, right? Like I
Yeah.
want a pool. You don't need a pool. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have a shower. You're cool. You just want a pool. It's different, right? It's an amenity. I need a
100%. Yeah.
backyard. I need a backyard for the dogs. Yeah, it makes sense. You have a dog. Cool. So stuff like that. But basically go here, register your property. And again, if it's a hotel room, like 1 bedroom or something like that, condo, you have a house, register
Yeah.
your house. It's free. And I would suggest registering on this portal probably like at least every 4 to 6 weeks, because what happens is like if you're doing San Antonio, I put mine in and then you put yours in and then somebody else here, mine keeps going down, down, down. So they'll have to search for it in their database. And then
Okay.
the rep actually told me, like, I would do it every 4 to 6 weeks just to refresh it so we see it, because they might have to go all the way down to find yours.
Yeah.
There's a lot more people knowing about this. So more and more homes that short-term rentals are going into midterms because it's a slow season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you get more homes coming in. Now all of a sudden that maybe I was in number 3 or 4, all of a sudden like I'm 20. They're not going down that far to find property. They're like, oh, number 5 is I got 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Perfect. And then I don't see it. So I keep doing
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
It's boring,
And
but it's actually easy to do.
is that the strategy that you will suggest, like short-term rental for high season and then mid-term rental for low season?
Yeah, you can do that. It's not perfect. The hard part about this hybrid strategy is that midterm insurance housing pays better than short term. So in general, what happens is, in general, midterm, everything but insurance for the most part is roughly about 2x long-term rent.
Okay.
So long-term rent's 2,000, midterm for the most part is about 4,000 gross. Now, is
Okay.
that what you're gonna make? No. You're gonna get around 4,000 gross, but you have to subtract each month how much your expenses are, right? The electricity, water, gas bill, internet, trash,
Yeah.
all that other stuff, right? Landscape. So you're probably making like closer to like say 33 to 3,500, something like that, depending on how much those items cost. Um, so yeah, so you're not making, depends on which profit margin you want. You can always go higher, but short term in general is usually 2.5. It used to say 2.5 to 3x long term rents, depending on location. Obviously, all these things depend on location and
Yeah.
how good you are. What's
100%.
happening with short term? Yeah, what's happening with short term and Airbnbs I've seen and people talk about is you have to be unique. You have to be one of the top 5 or 6 properties in that area, because if you're not going to get booked. And the top 5% is getting all those bookings. They're making all the money. And then people are coming in like, oh, I'm going to go to Orlando. It's it. Or Disney World. I put my house up. I'm not doing well. No crap. You're not doing well because what's happened is
There's like 3,000 houses.
it's
Yeah.
too many. Yeah, there's like six.
Yeah.
I think I saw yesterday. There's like over 6,500 homes listed in the surrounding area for Orlando. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, what makes you stand out that they're going to go to you? It could be you have a 8 bedroom house. Well, that's a standout because not many homes are 8 bedrooms. Most homes are, 3 to 6 bedrooms, give or take, in America. Once
Yeah.
you have a 7, 8 bedroom, like, wow, you can not just get one family, you can get, like a family for, let's say, me, your brother's family, and then, maybe even like grandma and the some of the older people. So you have 3 generations of people coming in, living in the same house,
Yeah.
and they're traveling because they want to stay together. So if you know that, you attack that.
Yeah.
And just knowing that, that's why there's all these comps. You can go to Airbnb directly. I
Yeah.
tell people on that video when you check it out, I think the last thing I talk about is I go to Airbnb directly. So I get off this call in a little bit. Sorry. Switch to traveling. But if you go directly in the map, this is what I call secret shopping. Yeah, definitely slowing down now. The longer it goes, the computer is like getting slower and slower. But like you can secret shop. Like let's say you want to go to San Antonio, right? You go here and say like, oh, I'm gonna go to San Antonio. What dates? Okay, if you're doing midterms, like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do months. But you can also do the other way. You can do months and check them. But I might do something like this, like, oh, I'm gonna look for a week stay, a randomly week stay. I could be a Tuesday to Tuesday here, right? Or I can go Thursday. Most people travel like for the long weekend like this. And I go, okay, I'll just do a week stay, right? Just and you do it for a couple of other months, weeks down the year. And then what you add is you just add guests. Like usually it's families are 2 adults, say 3 kids, and maybe a pet. And then you just go into the San Antonio, like, okay, obviously pets, some people don't want pets, so you're gonna have less home. And then you just go once the map comes up in a second, you can kind of see the listings, what they're charging and what it's gonna cost for that week. And you basically go, okay, well, if they're charging $800, you know, let's
Yeah.
just multiply that times 4. It's roughly that time. And if you want the whole month, you can go change the dates again. But when I say secret shop is, mine's up here in Selma. So
Yeah.
there's homes right here, right? Let's just say I have family visiting here or I'm working at the naval base at Randolph. Okay, I want to be here. So I'm gonna click as I click closer. Oops, I don't want that. See what happens here. Let's see if they have more popping up or not. Sometimes you'll get more that pop up. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
More here
Definitely.
now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So then you get better clues. Like, okay, let me narrow down to like what my competition is. I don't know, my map's not moving because what's that not moving? There we go. So like Randolph, this is a big Air Force base. Like that's my target market. Like, hey, that military base is never going to go anywhere. It's like a university. This university is never going to go anywhere. So I already know I have university and people that are working there, maybe coming in to work.
Yeah.
Military base, people are traveling. Maybe they get their job assignments. Like, oh, why don't they stay here? Why not this one? Why not these? There's different prices. Like, why is this one going to get booked maybe possibly before mine? You know, there's a different area. Like this one's here, 124. That might be my property actually. I don't even know. So, you know, like what's the difference here? I mean, it's a distance. Obviously, these two will be closer. Here's a major highway. So maybe they don't want to cross over a major highway because it takes longer. There's so many other factors we don't know until they think about it. And it could just, more times than not, it's usually the cost. But you can get a rough idea, right? Like 992, 740. Now it's like you look at the first 6 or so. These are over 1,000. Okay, what makes these stand out? Wow, that's a nice water feature. But is that, you know, does it matter? Because how much time you're spending in a month? You're not spending a lot of time in the backyard that often, are you? I mean, you're entertaining possibly. So maybe you want a pool. You know, look at the rooms that matter to them: the bedrooms, the baths, the kitchens usually because they're entertaining stuff. You know, maybe this one has a bunk bed. Looks like they have 3, 1 bed here, 2 bunk beds on the side.
Yeah.
And that's how they get more people living there and staying there. So, and you can look at the reviews. There's a lot of these little tricks to do, but this is what I call secret shopping. Like, let me look at other competition. If mine's right here, let's say that is mine. It might be. This one's 155. Well, I'm already priced lower than the other one. Maybe I can move my price up higher.
Yeah.
But then I have this guy over here. But see, like, I would think like over here, these 2 or 3 on this side of this highway and this highway, because it's crisscrossing, that's so far away from this. Even though it's a highway drive here and just a loop, it's probably no more than 15 minutes, but it's far enough away where it's like they don't want that. Maybe I don't know what they're thinking. They might want to be like closer to shopping, which is this area right here. And mine's actually closer to shopping. There's a bunch of stuff around this area.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And who knows? Maybe they want to be actually down here because it's closer to San Antonio. Down south of that, to the left, that map, it's downtown San Antonio. It has the river walk because they're staying there. They want to have some fun and they want to go downtown and be a tourist on the days that they're not working. So
100%.
you
Yeah.
still want to be closer to that. So again, it's put yourself in the same mindset. If you were that person, what would you want?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, you want a comfortable home because you're spending a lot of time there, but you're also still, it's technically vacation. It's a split kind of thing. I get time to work. Yes, I'm there for work, but I still am a human being that has a family that wants to go and see the sights of the city.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
So,
Just 2 final questions. The first one
Sure.
is like a quick one. Like when like going back to the midterm rental, like when insurance company files a claim or something, like do they give you like a budget for the like it will be
sometimes,
3 months and it will be 5,000 or something like that?
yeah. So sometimes they will. They usually will tell you the time length. They don't tell you the amount. That's negotiable.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, you'll get a claim, and here's something that you can pretty much write in the books in your mind. If you see a claim come to you and says 3 months, it's a water claim. That means like there's a pipe burst or some kind of water damage to the house.
Okay.
It's what we call a water claim. And those in general that I've seen from people and hearing from others, I've never had a water claim. Those are usually between 2 months all the way to like 5 months. They say they'll tell you 3 months guaranteed sometimes, right? So then you'll know it's minimum 3 months with extension possibly, right? So that's good. You want the extension because you can, once the original lease is ends, you can negotiate maybe possibly higher, which is good.
Yeah.
Plus, you're guaranteed 3 months. Now, if you get a 6-month claim guaranteed, if it says that comes through, it's a fire damage claim.
Okay.
So now fire damage claims are 6+ months. I've seen short end 6 to 9 months, long end over a year. And that's really good because those pay probably the best because you're like, look, they might even, here's the thing. it's like everything else. Like the more you do, the less you want in price. It's like going to Costco and stuff. Like, hey, I'm buying like 18 jars of mayonnaise. Please give me a discount. Sure, I'll give you a discount. So instead of whatever, you go buy one or two of those at the local grocery store. Each jar of mayonnaise is like $5. If I bought 18, I'm gonna drop the price down. That's how they get you. But do you need that much mayonnaise? No. In this scenario, basically is the longer to stay, they actually want a lower price because they're like, well, we're guaranteeing you 9 months. What's maybe they'll say, what's the best rate you can give us? Now, here's the thing. These ALE reps, they they don't they can't tell you certain things. If they know it, they know it. Like the budget is this much. They'll tell you. They're really happy because here's the thing. They don't get anything out of it. There's like a middleman, right? They
Okay.
still have to send it. They have to send the report and what you want and discuss with them into the insurance adjuster. The insurance adjuster has to approve it, and then the family has to usually what ends up happening. Next step is the family, more times than not, will want to see the house, tour the house, make sure that they like it, and then check off. And they say, okay, this house checks off. We want this house because they want to see the neighborhood. They probably want to see the backyard, and they want to see how big the rooms are and if it smells. It's like buying a house. It's even though it's temporary, it's still something they can do and choose to do. So you have to open the house or have somebody show them the house for who knows, half hour. So
Okay. Sweet. And the other question and final question is like, how do you fund these deals? Do you get private money lenders? Do you use your own money, or how does this usually works? Because there is some risk, right? Like to not get the property rented, or like
absolutely. No, you're 100% right on all that. So in terms of money, like, are you talking about the furnishings or are you talking about everything?
everything, like
Getting the
buying
deal.
and getting the deal and then furnishing the property.
Yeah, no, furnishing the property. The one in Selma, I basically used private money. My partner that actually got the deal from Richard, he asked me to jump in, and I was like, I'm not going to use my money. I'm going to raise my portion. I raised my half. He raised it. He has his own half, so he used his money, and I raised my portion. So that's you could. I'm like, I could have raised the whole thing, and then we could have had some other differences in terms of like percentage and all this stuff. But I won't get into that. But if you were to buy it yourself, for example, like you had, okay, this house, I need $30,000. I think I saw a deal today. It's like $30,000 plus closing costs. Okay, well, what's closing costs? 5, 10,000, depending on where you are. Okay, cool. So that's 30, let's say 40,000. And then you look at furnishings. How much is furnishings? Let's say a 3-bedroom home is probably around 15,000. You can probably go cheaper, you can probably go higher, but roughly around that range, 12 to like 17, 18,000, around that range is where you should be. For a midterm, you don't need to make it super fancy. You can, but you don't need to go crazy. Like, you don't need to put a piano or some crazy, like you see these homes, they're not very spectacular. Nothing stands out. So it's like, maybe a pool table if you want to put something there. This is a nice dining table, but it's all about the pictures. You have to keep that in mind. You have to take pictures afterwards. You have to get it cleaned and all this other stuff. And you have for furnishings, you might have somebody come and do it. You might have to hire somebody. If you do it yourself, how are you going to haul it? Are you buying this furniture and having it shipped, and then who's going to put it together? All these other things that you have to think about, but just allocate about 15K for a 3-bedroom home. That's probably about right. And then obviously, like you were saying, I probably put at least 2 more months of payments for whatever the mortgage is, just to be safe.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how fast you're going to get it booked.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you can cover payments. So what I do is, let me see something like share. I don't know if I can whiteboard this. I'm not usually good with whiteboarding, but let me see if I do this. What is that? Collaborate. I don't usually like create. Can I do that? Hope I'm not screwing anything up. Is that working?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Yeah. Can I use this or you?
Yeah, I think you can.
Oh,
can you?
Let me see something. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool. So I'm not used to this. I don't have an iPad linked up. So like, let's say, if you were on the private money Zoom, this is how I raise it. The way Pace teaches it. And let's say you need, we said 30K plus another 10K for closing costs. It's probably high, but let's say 10K for closing costs. Let's say 15K for the furnishings, right? So 30, 10, 45 plus another 15, 60K, right? We need 60K. Okay. That's the need.
Okay.
But what I do is I don't raise 60K. I raise, let's say, depending on what you're gonna give away, because you need to cover like percentage. Like let's say it's 10K. Give me a sec. Let me see here. So I know I need 60, but I need to have extra,
Yeah, like
right?
the
So
payments for the monthly payments and also some money for you, right? Like
yeah,
you can even pay
expenses like
yourself. Yeah.
right. So let's say if I'm saying 60, I might raise, let's say 70K. 70K times, let's say 15%. That's 10,500 divided by, 12. That's another $875 a month. So I probably need to raise more than that. Like 70K wouldn't cover it. What I mean by that is like, let's say I raise 75K times 0.15, 15%, I would need 11,250.
Oh, to cover the
Right?
interest only payments.
Yeah. So I'm paying interest only for the 12 months, right? So that's for the year
Okay.
only. So like basically like this is all, and this is off 75K, right?
Yeah.
So you see the difference here, 75, and I have about basically 12,000 roughly here, right?
Yeah.
So 12,000 right there plus a 60, that's 72, right? So I have
Yeah.
3,000 to play with. What's my mortgage payment? Let's say it's like 2,000. Okay, well, I have a month and a half of mortgage payments left over.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like I'm
100%.
raising this 75K, I'm using the basically 12K out of that is to pay the private lender back
Yeah.
to make sure that I have enough funds set up to pay the private lender. Okay, so I don't have to worry about actually make the property doesn't if it doesn't make money or something, it's slowing down, it's not generating as much as I thought. I need to have that funds set aside to pay that private lender. So I want to make sure that I'm covering them.
Yeah.
Obviously you want to stay on budget here. If you go under budget, it's great. If you go over budget, you guys got to be careful because this is standard, right? It's fixed. This is can change all the time, and then you might have to raise more than 75. So it's up to
Okay.
you if you want to raise 80K. And then
Yeah.
also the 15%, it could be 12, it could be 13, it could be
What are
11.
you getting like on these past deals? Like what interest rate do you get?
Yeah, so private money is a funny thing, to be honest. Like you have to have good relationships with whoever you're raising from.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They have to know, like, and trust you. That's always the key thing you always hear.
Yeah.
So you have to build relationships. You got to get active, and people got to know you, and it's all integrity. So, um, what I did with this last deal was 12%. And there's penalties. Like if I don't pay it in time, I
Yeah.
have to do this and do this. So, there's different ways to raise it. Like with this specific deal in Selma,
Yeah.
the private lender, I did a Zoom with a bunch of people, and this one lady, I chose the person I wanted to work with. I had a bunch of people reach out because what I said, for me, 12% is low. It's
Yeah.
like probably standard right now, but it's low because there's gator lending and stuff. Like you can make more money other places.
Yeah.
And I said this to this lady. I said, and to everybody actually, I said, what I'll do is I'll call and jump on a call with a landlord. You figure out the market you want. I'll show you how to underwrite and do all that stuff. And once we pick a property that works, we're gonna try to call and I'll work until you get your first property.
Okay.
I'm gonna work for the private money,
Yeah.
right? And yes, you're still gonna get payments. So 12% is low, but on top of that, I'm gonna give you this. Like I'm gonna help you guys get your first arbitrage property.
Love it.
And
Yeah.
everyone's like, yeah, it's great because I want to learn it on cash flow. Maybe I don't, it's not my business, but like I at least, if nothing else, understand what tech's doing if I
Yeah.
want to do that.
100%. Loved it. Love it.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So provide something to set out and
Yeah, value. You
yeah.
start out with value, man. Now 15%,
Yeah.
again, 15% is probably about right to really entice people because
Okay.
it's all about cash on cash return. Like obviously you gotta make sure that you have enough money to make that your profits too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot
100%.
of different numbers. Yeah. See, it seems that it's ultimately still going to be, I'm sure this, like, well, it's going to benefit both sides. If
Yeah.
I say 12%, you're like, it's nothing. I can get like twice as good as that. Okay. I can't give you 20%. So, or do I go up to 13 or 14%?
Yeah.
Maybe. But then what about on top of that, which no one else is going to give you, is I'm going to call and get you a property and get your first arbitrage. Oh, what's the value in that?
Yeah.
There's no amount on that value because you can make more money on top and learn from somebody who's already doing it. So yeah, so you never know. So I can stop share if you want this.
Love it. Yep. 100%. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for all the insights, Tech. Like, I really
Yeah, man.
appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I will like try to learn more about this, and then if I see properties that might be interesting, I
Yeah,
will
man.
like reach out to you.
Yeah, dude. I
Um,
definitely let's partner up, man. I love it.
yeah, 100%. And I'll send you the recording and everything, and
Cool.
I'll
Appreciate that.
talk to you
Yeah, I'll
soon.
put it up my channel too. We'll have to subscribe to each other's channel. Send me your link.
100%.
I'll
I
send you
will.
I'll send you the I'll send you, oh, you can go to my YouTube. It's my name. I think it's just Tech Cheng. Not many sound right here.
Okay.
You're not gonna find too many Tech Chengs, and I don't think Sepulveda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually knew a guy, same last name. First name was Francisco, I think was his first name. It's been a while. Yeah. So, but yeah, you can go to
Nice.
my channel. It should be on there. If not, I can send it to you. So just text me.
Yeah, yeah. I will look it up and then also add the video on the description. So if anyone is watching this and wants to learn more,
Yeah,
just
man.
jump into that.
Go to my YouTube. I need followers. So does
Yeah,
he. Follow Armando,
definitely.
man.
100%. All right. Thank you so much. And
Absolutely, man.
I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right. Thanks. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.